Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Yahweh, Shem Yahshua, Thumb to the Akim. Shalom, Yahweh, Shema, Thumb by Shem Yahshua to all the Akwafim. Clap it up for the Lord, man. It's the Lord class. All right, the Lord class. All right, so to follow up from Monday, right? Big ups to Priest and also 1,000, also Badger. All right, I felt them on Monday. All right, it was requested. Big ups to Priest and also Sha'ol for allowing me to hold it down today at the law class, right? Y'all already know. All right, bring your precept books out, bring your apocryphas out, your swords out, the pens, the pads, the dictionary. Y'all already know what time it is, all right? This is part 2 of Israel's captivity, right? Let me get the book of Ezekiel chapter 39. Baba Kushor. All right, so the captivity, right? You have to understand Israel's captivity.
Ezekiel 39.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 39, verse 23, Baba Kushor. Starting at Salakia at verse 23. Let me get there with you. Ezekiel 39, verse 23.
Salakia.
Con, you have a question?
No.
My voice?
No, just keep talking. Salakia.
No sweat. So once you understand Israel's captivity, right, you'll understand how we wind up here today at this current captivity. All right, this is the last captivity, man. Okay, this is spiritual Egypt. Understand? Give me the book of Ezekiel, chapter 39, verse 23. Cons.
What's this year?
All right, so as you know, we brought out one of the faves, right, from Babylon to Timbuktu. Okay, page 84. All right, by Rudolph R. Winslow. I remember as a young man, I went and got this thing. Oh, what's the book cover? I got a clear book cover on this, man. All right, and every copy that I bought from there, I gave it away as a gift. Okay. So one of the tools to help you understand our history is this book right here. This book is on our study guide, man. All right. So is another book by this author, all right, called The Valley of Dry Bones. Okay. Don't be stingy on the study guide. All right. You don't know what you get your Ottawa, man. Go get them some books. All right. Keep them in the school. Okay. You had a question, sis? We're in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 39, verse 23. Just give the priest a moment. All right.
We need a sword. I need
Let's give the priest a second. Chapter 39. All right. Big ups to everyone who kept the law, man. All right. Big yourself up, all right. The Day of Atonement. Okay. Hey, that is that right there, the Day of Atonement, you know, I want you to keep that in mind. We went 24 hours.
Right.
Okay. Without no food nor drink if you was capable. All right. So imagine us in our captivities. Okay. Imagine our ancestors, our nation, right? And captivity.
okay, in this stinking slave ship right here, okay, that also Shaul brought out. Let me stand up. Can they see this?
God, that's on Christ.
All right, that right here, that was us.
Right.
All right, you were crying about a 24-hour fast, right? Y'all know the precepts. How long did they go without eating?
Right.
All right, and fecal matter.
And it's locking, if I may.
Yes.
Stand up one more time, Bokasha. You see what that shirt says? True Holocaust.
True.
You understand what I'm saying? That's the true Holocaust of Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians. Our oppressors, you understand, who stole our identity. You understand, those Jewish, meaning pertaining to, not being like. You understand, their very biblical name is the Amaleks. You understand, they profess themselves, they stole our nationality. They call themselves the children of the Most High. They call themselves the Jews, the children of Israel. You understand? And they like to every single year, they like to cram down our throat. When they was oppressed by Hitler, by the Germans. You understand? While Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians, you understand, our numbers are more than them. You understand? We died. Our people had many more atrocities than them. You understand? That's the true Holocaust.
Damn right. All right. Let me give you a little secret.
Slovakia, 77 million blacks were Slovakia. No. What
It was in the millions.
99 million. You understand? While they lie about their numbers. You understand? The numbers that they said that of the Amaleks that died, if their numbers was correct, guess what? There wouldn't be no more Amaleks. They lied about them. They had to lie about their numbers.
Right. It's like it's so heavy you bring that out, sir, because Hitler, right? Why do you think he burnt them in an oven? Said you want to be he was trying to tell them that the real Jews is black. All right, so he massacred them, right, in an oven for lying. Even he himself shed the same blood. Right? He was a half breed. He was a psychopathic god. All right, in his kingdom, in his world. All right. However, right, if you practice fasting every other day, right, you would gain spiritual strength for the day of atonement. Okay, all children and pregnant women and those that are on medication are excused.
Right.
Okay, but those who are able, right? You have a question, sis? Right. If you have Salaki, if you have to, there's medication that you have to have food with. All right. So you are excused. All right. Now if if you're tough Tony, remember that you have to honor a physician. All right. There are no Rambos here. Okay. All right. Honor a physician. All right. Remember that you come from a royal bloodline, a royal priesthood. We do things in decency and in order. All right. Keep the law. All right. Practice. Practice makes permanent. Okay. Be thou perfect.
Right.
Rehearse the righteous acts.
That's right.
All right. This is the law class. All right. And part of the law is you must know history. All right. So with that, Bible could show Ezekiel chapter 39, verse 23.
God, Ezekiel chapter 39, verse 23. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity.
For their what?
Iniquity.
What is iniquity?
Hmm.
Go ahead, sir.
Sin, the transgression of the law.
Transgression of the law, statutes, and commandments, man. All right. Here in this captivity, you break the white man's law, you get a fine.
Right.
You get imprisonment. Okay. The Most High power is worse, man. He sent his whole world into captivity, man.
Right.
All right. He is a terrible power. Read on.
God. because they trespassed against me.
They did what?
Trespassed against me.
We spit in the Most High's face. Read on.
Therefore hid I my face from them and gave them into the hand of their enemy.
The hand of our enemies, man. Read on.
So fell they all by the sword.
By the what?
Sword.
By the sword, man. He let his the only family of the earth that the Most High Power has known is Israel, man.
Right.
And he gave us to fall by the sword of our enemies for breaking the law, statutes, and commandments. All right. So if you cheated on the Day of Atonement, just remember yesterday's service. He will cast you out.
Right.
He will purge you up out of here. Read on.
Verse 24. According to their uncleanness.
According to what?
Their uncleanness.
Read on.
And according to their transgressions.
Their what?
Transgressions.
Meaning their sins, man. Read on.
Have I done unto them.
Have what?
Have I done unto them.
Read on.
And hid my face from them.
And hid my face from them. And the Most High has hid his face from us.
Right.
We are at the mercy of the Most High Power, man. We are in the last days, the last captivity. Any questions?
La.
Sis?
So whoever did take part of yesterday, you say gonna be purged out of it.
If you transgress the law, what was that in Romans? What was written aforetime was written for our learning, right? Everything here was for our time now. We are the people of the book. We know this. We didn't get it right then, and we paid the price.
Right.
So now, right, most of us heard our calling up out the world. Even in this captivity. Barakatah Yahweh Shah for the ISUPK, man.
Right.
All right. This is the home of the truth. This is our truth. Right. So we are instructed to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, right? We are instructed not to eat from sundown to sundown. Right. Now, if you're on meds, then you are excused. If you are a pregnant woman breastfeeding, then you are excused.
Right.
Right? Salakia. If you are a child, you are excused. But if you are an able body, whether you are a male or a female, right, you are expected to rehearse that righteous act.
Right.
Okay. Yesterday, we brought out that our King Yahushua, right, kept the law, and we should be just like our King and keep the law. All right. He said, be ye therefore perfect. All right. Give me the book of Exodus.
Gone.
The book of Exodus, right? These are our captivities, right? Exodus chapter 12, Salaki. Exodus chapter 12, verse 40. All right.
Exodus chapter 12 and verse 40.
This is when we left Egypt, man. You know, earlier this Monday we brought out the curses, right? Deuteronomy 28. Okay. We left Egypt. We were warned that we will be sent back into Egypt in ships, right? Here you go. Also, all said cargo slave ships. All right, I'm gonna stand up once again. All right, cargo. I don't get to wear this shirt like that. All right, cargo slave ships. All right, that's us right there. Okay, cargo slave ship. The Lord, we sent back into Egypt again in ships. Okay, read on.
God. Exodus chapter 12, verse 40. Now the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years.
So for 430 years, we were in Egyptian captivity. Okay, even they hated us. We outpopulated them. All right, I can't digress this enough, man. My first Passover was the 47th Passover. All right, the Most High used Captain Mashak. Big up Captain Mashak, man.
Right.
Captain Mashak, my out of DC, right? He invited me. I was his guest. I felt at home. I said, "Where the hell have I been my whole life?" Right? But that was it, man. And you know, there was the lecture on the city of the Hebrews, man, and that was it. It was hook, line, sinker, man. It was hook, line, sinker, and eventually I got my stuff together, and I walked through them doors. All right, read on.
God. Verse 41. And it came to pass at the end of the 430 years, even the self same day, it came to pass that all the hosts of the Most High went out from the land of Egypt.
All the hosts of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt. Read on.
Verse 42. It is a night to be much observed unto the Most High for bringing them out from the land of Egypt. That is that night of the Most High to be observed of all the children of Israel and their generations.
And their generations, man. And if you know you're an Israelite, man, you're part of that generation, man. You're part of that bloodline, man.
Right.
Okay, that was very heavy, man. All right, we had our own city in Egypt, right? And them damn devils, they covered it all up, man. We did everything. All right. We did everything. It's so important for you to study, man. Study to show thyself approved. Don't take it take it for me. You have to study.
Right.
All right. Don't take it for work face value. You do the work. Don't be a sluggard. All right. Go out there and study. The proof is out there. All right. The proof is out there. I said it before, man. The truth is going to defend itself, man. All right. Many are called, but few are chosen.
Right.
430 years, man. We talking about 1500 BC around there. 1500 BC. BC stands before Christ, right?
Oh.
Before Christ. All right. This is the oppressor's calendar. All right. The next captivity was the Assyrian captivity, man. Give me the book of 2 Kings.
God.
2 Kings 17. All right, so we didn't learn our lesson in Egypt. We didn't learn our lesson in Egypt. 3:17. Let me get there with you. Chapter 17. You can start at verse 1.
God.
We're gonna highlight this stuff. This is a very, very important part of your study. All right. So that can nobody pull a fast one over you, man. Yesterday we brought out Hosea. Hosea was an Ephraimite, right? Hosea's reign.
God.
This is the Salakia. This is the northern kingdom, right? The northern kingdom of Israel, right? After you had Saul, Right? You had King Saul, you had King David, you had Solomon, and once Solomon died, the kingdom split. Right? We brought out once again page 84 in from Babylon to Timbuktu. Okay, General Pompey, right? He sacked Jerusalem in 70 AD, right? Read on.
God. 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 1. In the 20th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hoshea, the son of Elah, to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years.
Over what?
9 years.
9 years, man. Read on.
Verse 2. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Most High.
All right, so even if you break the law, statutes, and commandments, right? These things are considered evil. All right, ain't no one. There's no favoritism with this. All right, there is no favoritism in this. Read on.
Respect of persons.
The water, so, the water. There's no respecter of persons with this. All right. The Most High. We was out there in the world. You hear that word discriminate? The Most High power, man. He does not discriminate, man. All right. Read on.
But not as the kings of Israel that were before him.
So, from my understanding, there was I think all the kings, the northern kingdom, they all did wickedly, man. All right, and there was 20 kings for the southern kingdom, and they were both good and evil. All right, read on.
Verse 3. Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, and Hoshea came before his servant and gave him presents.
And gave him what?
Presents.
Read on.
Verse 4. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to So king of Egypt, and brought no present to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison.
And bound him in prison for not giving tribute, man. All right. Now here we go as to how we got captured, man. Read on.
Come on, verse 5. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land, and went up to Samaria, and besieged it 3 years.
3 years. So we already had him ruling over us for about 9 years, right? For 9 years, right? And then 3 more years, right? Read verse 6.
God. Verse 6. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria, and placed them in Halah, and in Harbor, by the rivers of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes.
Of the Medes, man. Give me verse 7.
Come on, verse 7. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Most High their power, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt, from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had feared other gods.
Yeah, feared other gods. Give me verse 8.
Come on, verse 8. And walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom the Most High cast out from before the children of Israel, and of the kings of Israel, which they had made.
Which they had made, man. All right, so time and time again throughout these scriptures, all right, we did not obey. We were cowards, man.
Right.
Okay. There is no cowards in our camp here at this school. Okay. You get destroyed. get destroyed for feeding into your what's that word? Iniquities. Okay. You give me the next verse.
Go on, verse 9.
All the way down to 12, but sure.
Next verse 9, 9 to
Con.
12. Come on. And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against the Most High their power. And they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city. Verse 10. And they set up, and they set them up images and groves in every high hill, and under every green tree.
And they was doing this in the desert, man. We're in the book of Second Kings, right? This is the Assyrian captivity. This is second captivity right after Egypt, man. And they're still doing. They didn't learn their lesson,
Right.
man. Read on.
Verse 11. And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen whom the Most High carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke the Most High to anger.
Read on, sir.
Verse 12. For they serve idols, whereof the Most High had said unto them, Ye shall not do this thing.
You shall not do this thing, man. You should not eat this. You should not sleep with that.
Right.
You should not hate your brother, your neighbor. Right? These are simple things. Right? And because we couldn't follow simplicity, right? We fell to the sword of our enemies. Our power hid his face from us, right? There was no might in our right hand, man.
Right.
We still serve idols till today. Right? That was the northern kingdom. Right? All through chapter 17. Right? Explains in the book of Second Kings, chapter 17, explains the captivity of the Assyrians for the northern kingdom. All right, give me the Persian captivity, right? 538 BC, right? We can go to Chronicles, right? Let me see. Get it. First Chronicles chapter 2. Oh, Salakia. There's Second Chronicles. Chapter 2, verse 36.
Go on. So like you said, what? That's First Chronicles?
2 and 36? No. First Chronicles. Salagi. Bear with me. Chapter 2, verse 36.
Go on.
Oh, this is the this is the this is the heritage. This is all the timeline of all the families, right? This is our generational timeline, right? This is what they call it right now. When you make the family tree, or what they call it now, the ancestry.com, right? This is the root of it right here. Okay. from Adam to Abraham.
Well, it's primarily still called, family tree, lineage.
Right, but for the people to understand it
Mhm.
in today's way of talk, they go to there was a certain one,
A certain word.
a certain right.
Well, really, before it was all this ancestry.com, it's the BS that, that's just a whole gimmick in the scheme. We normally said family tree.
The family tree.
Con.
All right, so when they ask you, if you can prove, right, that we belong there, right? Some brothers and sisters have actually been blessed to trace their roots back to the plantations. All right, it doesn't stop there. All right, that was a legitimate business, right? We know it wasn't, right, but they have records. Every business has an invoice. Every business has what's that, inventory. Okay, that will lead to a whole nother can of worms, as they say, right? But this is the root of us right here. All right. Salaki, that's not what I wanted. Give me Ezra.
Con.
All right, Ezra. All right, Persia today, right? Persia is called Iran today. Okay. We was in the Persian captivity. It's the third captivity. Bear with me. You can start at chapter 1, verse 1.
Con.
Let me get there with you, Salakia. 1 through 8.
Con. Ezra, chapter 1, verse 1. Now, in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, that the word of the Most High by the mouth of Jeremiah might be fulfilled, the Most High stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, that he made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom, and put it also in writing, saying, verse 2, Thus saith Cyrus, king of Persia, the Most High power of heaven hath given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he hath charged me to build him an house at Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Verse 3. Who is there among you of all his people? His power be with him, and let him go up to Jerusalem, which is in Judah, and build the house of the Most High, power of Israel. He is the power which is in Jerusalem. Verse 4. And whosoever remaineth in any place where he sojourneth, let the men of his place help him with silver, and with gold, and with goods, and with beasts, beside the free will offering for the house of the Most High, that is in Jerusalem. Verse 5.
Cost all the way down to 8, right?
Gone.
Verse Salaki, and during this captivity, most of us was returned to Jerusalem. Okay, read on.
Verse 5. Then rose up the chief of the fathers of Judah and Benjamin, and the priests and the Levites, with all them whose spirit the Most High had raised, to go up to build the house of the Most High, which is in Jerusalem. Verse 6. And all they that were above them strengthened their hands with vessels of silver, with gold, with goods, and with beasts, and with precious things, beside all that was willingly offered. Verse 7. Also Cyrus the king brought forth the vessels of the house of the Most High, which Nebuchadnezzar had brought forth out of Jerusalem, and had put them in the house of his gods.
Of his gods, man. All right, our iniquities have forced us to lose everything:
Right,
our homeland, our families, our our holy our holy relics.
right,
All right, and not only did we get placed in the kingdom of our oppressors, right, but so did our holy relics, our records. Okay,
right,
to the point where these heathen even took our identity.
right,
All right, so everything that was promised that we were gonna get, right, as punishment, we are still living it today.
right,
All right, you think that what we going through today, we didn't go through in Egypt, right, or in Assyria, all right, or in Persia, right? It's time. It's like the Twilight Zone. It's time and time and time and time and time again.
right,
We have to. I don't want to sound Christian, right? We have to. We have to break them chains, man. We have to break those generational curses, right? That's
Right.
the season way to say it, right? Break those generational curses, okay? But how do we do that? By studying to show thyself approved, by rehearsing the righteous acts, okay? By keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? By putting on your strength, black man, Hispanic man, Native woman, Indian, okay? The gig is up, man. All right?
So, like, if I may,
Come on, sir.
what you're saying, is powerful because, like, all of these captivities that you're talking about, for those who may not understand, right? Salakia, it grasp the image that you're talking about. Just look at every black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indian man, woman, and child life here in America.
Right.
You understand? With the cargo slave ships, like you just said, even up until today. You understand? The knees on George Floyd's neck. You understand? All the Mexicans, all the black, Hispanic, Native North American, all the hell and all the turmoil, troubles and poverties and tribulations and the other nations exploiting us and taking advantage of us and killing us and hating us. Just for you to understand, you understand? These captivities like Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Persia, Greek, and Roman, it's just like living in America, if you understand. So in other words, it's like, for an example, this present day America, you understand, this is the seventh captivity. You understand? You got Egypt, you got Assyrian, you got Babylonian, Persian, Greek, Roman, and America, which the water to the Most High, this is our last captivity, just for you to understand what we went through. You understand? Because, our people gotta, like, paint the picture and understand when we talking about these empires of slavery, which I just mentioned, it's just like here in America. That's how they treated us, black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians. You understand? Nothing different from how we was treated in Egypt and to America, but only fact is, you understand, it's just worse. Go ahead.
Damn right. Damn right. Give me chapter 3, verse 7, Bob. Sure.
Ezra chapter 3, verse 7.
Come
Gone. Ezra chapter 3 and verse 7. They gave money also unto the masons and to the carpenters, and meat and drink and oil unto them of Zidon, and to them of Tyre, to bring cedar trees from Lebanon to the sea of Joppa, according to the grant that they had of Cyrus, king of Persia.
So those of us during this captivity that were able to go back to Jerusalem, right? This heathen king, right, named Cyrus, right? All through towards the end of Second Chronicles onto the beginning of Ezra's, right? You can read about that captivity. Right, we tried to restore the temple. Okay, if you're Salakia, the registry, Was I saying that earlier? I think that was the other word I was looking for. The
Registry?
registry.
Con.
Okay. I kept saying ancestry. All right, but the registry. Okay, you know how when we have the Sabbath service and we have the high holy days and the feast days, right? One priest is stand up, called up, right, to state his registry.
Right.
Okay, we are a peculiar people, man. A very what's that word? Articulate people. Okay, our records are second to none. If your registry, right, of your records was not found, you were kicked out of the priesthood. And if you was found a heathen trying to perpetrate, your head would be rolling up out of the congregation. All right. So these people, these priests, right? If you read down, right, from verse 7, in chapter 1, from verse 7 through 10, right? All our relics were returned, right? And with the grant of this heathen king during this captivity, right? The the worship of our power was restored. All right. You can drop that. Give me chapter 4, verse 3. Even today, in this captivity, right? This would be seventh, the seventh or the eighth, right? Seventh,
The seventh.
the
Con.
seventh captivity, right? And
Right.
our people, Salaki, can I get that? Stiff neck,
Con. Rebellious.
the water. All right. Israel has a reputation, right? Not only for rejecting knowledge, right, and being a rebellious people, right? The minute we get this yoke ripped off from us, man, we will return to our state of glory. Okay, we will become the heads, all right, and not the tail. Okay, you have that precept, sir.
Con. I have one. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 31. There's very others I found, but this is a good one also. Salakia. Also, there's one in Ezekiel, but I'll read this one if you
We're gonna touch Ezekiel in a minute, sir.
con. This is Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 27. For I know thy rebellion and thy stiff neck. Behold, while I am yet alive with you this day, ye have been rebellious against the Most High. And how much more after my death?
And how much more after my death, man?
That's heavy.
All right, and this is Moses.
Right.
All right, the first general of Israel. All right, I think his time was in like 26. Two it's 2666 BC is sometime around there. All right, I'm not exactly sure. I know that for 430 years in Egypt we were captive, and that was in 1500 BC. All right, and he's been long gone, right? And we are still a stiff-necked, rebellious people, indulging in our iniquities, and then we wondering why we can't get out of this box that we are in.
Right.
All right, but then when you see those, right, those prophets, right, you call them Power Rangers, you laugh at them, you spit at them, you mock them, right? You hate them. Right? No one is excluded from these curses, man. All right. We want our people to come back to the Most High. All right. Let me get the next verse. It's like it. Chapter Ezra chapter 4, verse 4.
God. Let me get there with you.
Yeah, man. The Chronicles, Second Chronicles, and Ezra, right? Esther, right? These are all the records of our captivity. So we can not only prove, right, our bloodline through the scriptures and through the world's history, right? We can also prove that that we are these people in captivity, okay, through all these captivities. Understand? When you got it,
God. Ezra chapter 4, verse 4. Then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and troubled them in building,
and what?
in building,
And the buildings they troubled them. Read on.
and hired counselors against them.
Counselors would be uh esquire. Esquires is lawyers. Right, read on.
To frustrate their purpose.
To do what?
Frustrate their purpose.
So even in the land of captivity, people frustrated them, annoyed them, brought up false charges against them. Right, read on.
All the days of Cyrus, king of Persia.
All the what?
All the days of Cyrus, king of Persia.
Read on.
Even until the reign of Darius, king of Persia.
Even until the following king, man, in this captivity, man. Read on.
Verse 6. And in the reign of Ahasuerus, in the beginning of his reign, wrote they unto him an accusation against the inhabitants of Judah and Jerusalem.
Read on.
Verse 7. And in the days of Artaxerxes, wrote Bishlam, Mithridah, Tabil, and the rest of their companions unto Artaxerxes, king of Persia. And the writing of the letter was written in the Syrian tongue and interpreted in the Syrian tongue.
In the Syrian tongue, man. Artaxerxes, right? That is that sodomite looking heathen with all the gold, right? That was him.
Right.
All right. King of Persia, right? We have him in the Apocrypha also, right?
He's mentioned also in Apocrypha.
Right. Fell in love with our women, great manipulator. Okay. There is nothing new underneath the sun, man.
Right.
You can read on.
Ah.
Salakia, for time's sake, right? You have to those Artaxerxes, right? Artaxerxes is a key player, right? Ahasuerus is a key player in this captivity, right? Cyrus and Darius are key players in this Persian captivity.
If I
Right.
may,
Concert.
when it says Darius, it's like a surname. That it's not the actual name of the ruler. Darius is like a surname, like Officer Abajo always teaches. Yeah, Darius is like a surname.
There is another book, Lord allow, Slakia. Lord allow, I'll bring it out if we do a third part to this class. All right. there is a variety of records, right? The scriptures is one thing, right? Well, you have scholars, just like how you have priests, you have scholars that dedicated their lives to dig up this history. Okay, this is where you rightly divide the word of truth. Okay, we know that the oppressor turned the truth of God into a lie. Right, the truth of the Most High, the oppressor turned it into a lie.
Right.
Some things get lost in translation. Some things get lost in his story. Okay, we verify the truth. All right, we get down to the roots. All right, this is the home of the truth.
That's right.
All right, give me chapter 6 verse 14, Balk.
Con.
This Persian, right? This Persian captivity, right, is pretty deep. You have a question? All right, we was reading from Ezra. Right, so from Second Chronicles on down to Ezra, right? Ezra, Ezra, chapter 1. It was 1 through 8. We're at Ezra chapter 6 verse 14 right now. You can read verse 1, sir. Chapter 6 verse 1.
Ezra chapter 6 verse 1. Then Darius the king made a decree, and search was made in the house of the rolls, where the treasure were laid up in Babylon. Verse 2. And there was found at Achnatha, in a palace that is in the province of the Medes, a roll, and therein was a record thus written. Verse 3. In the first year of Cyrus, the king of the same, Cyrus the king made a decree concerning the house of the Most High at Jerusalem. Let the house be let the house be built, the place where they offered sacrifices, and let the foundation thereof be strongly laid, the height thereof 80 cubits, and the breadth thereof 80 cubits. Verse 4. With 3 rows of great stones, and a row of new timber, and let the expenses be given out of the king's house.
Salak, you can drop. You give me verse 14, Balk. Sure.
God, verse 14. In the elders of the Jews build it, and they prospered throughout the prophesying of Haggai, the prophet, and Zechariah the son of Iddo.
All right, so there you have it, right? When somebody asks you, like, where are the records, where is the proof, right? These prophets lived, they walked the earth, and they fought for their people, right? Our people, your people. Understand? As General Muhammad says, these brothers rolled together.
Right.
All right. Just like how we roll a camp, just like how we roll a council. Okay. We know them that labor amongst you. Okay. And here it is written in records. All right. Read on.
And they built it and finished it according to the commandment of the Most High of Israel, and according to the commandment of Cyrus and Darius and Artaxerxes, king of Persia. Verse 15. And this house was finished on the 3rd day of the month, Adar, which was in the 6th year of the reign of Darius the king.
Of Darius the king, man. what I like to do, man, is I like to write these highlights down, right? And I like to study the reign of these people, right? There's so much more you can find. You can find more particulars. You can find more. What's the other word? I don't want to say hidden treasure. All right, but you can find more wisdom when you go through this with a fine tooth comb. All right, this is nothing to play with.
Right.
Do not take your study for granted. All right, that big up to Captain Akkad, man. All right, Captain Akkad said that is where your authority comes from. Right, your notes. You study. All right, you study. That is where your power is right there, man. When you study, can no one fool you with their philosophies, all right, and they BS bullcrap about they fake gods, all right. Study, man. Know your worth. Know your history. Learn your language. Learn your culture. Love your brother. Stand strong and endure, man. You can drop that. Give me chapter 7. Chapter 7, verse 1.
God. Ezra chapter 7 and verse 1. Now, after these things, in the reign of Artaxerxes, king of Persia, Ezra, the son of
Sariah.
Sariah, the son of Azariah, the son of Hilkiah, verse 2, the son of Shalom, the son of Zadok, the son of Ahitub.
It's like this is all the generations, right? The records, right? Of Salakia, of these people, right? Of Ezra. Right. Ezra was a prophet. Okay. He was sent back to Jerusalem. All right. It's very important. It's very important that you know this. All right. Where is Palestine at? We brought this out Monday. Where is Palestine at? Anybody? Palestine's in Jerusalem. Say that again. Say that again.
Jerusalem, Palestine?
Yes.
God.
Where is that again? In the Middle East?
God.
All right. Whose land is that?
That's our land.
Who's there now?
Heathens, which call them the biblical name for the nation that is inhabiting our land, Amalekites.
And who else?
Okay, Arabs,
The Ishmaelites.
Ishmaelites.
Right? They're fighting over that land. This is why it's important to know. And you know what? Some devils, I forget her name, man, but she even called it. She knew it's not their land. They know the truth. They know they're not the chosen people. They know that they're the devil, right? They know they stole your identity. And they know that that's our land. It's important for you to study. All right. I remember Jerome Muhammad said, "You want to be a legend?" I walk through the doors. I want to be a legend. I want to be great. He said, "You got to start taking back what's yours." All right. Be a conqueror, man. Go out there with all this knowledge, man. Go out there and get some of them relics, man. Get some of that. Change the history books. All right. Get some wins for home team. And home team is so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. All right. You gotta take back everything that's ours, man. You might just encourage your brother or your sister. All right. What's that? What's that precept? Two or three, right? A string of two or three can't be broken easily, man. I'm paraphrasing, Slakia. I'm gonna skim down through these precepts of the Persian captivity. Okay, that would be Esther, right? Chapter 1, right? Verse 14 through 18, right? Esther chapter 10, Ezekiel chapter 38, Daniel chapter 8, verse 20, Daniel chapter 10, and Daniel chapter 11. And that sums up the Persian captivity, right? The following captivity was the Greek captivity, as also Shaul brought out, right? We was there from 232 BC. And the Roman captivity came shortly after, right? From 70 AD, right? That's what led us over here. All right. I just had to start with this book. All right. 70 AD. That was the Roman captivity. Okay. And then it got prophesied to this captivity, right? Spiritual Egypt. All right. Spiritual Egypt. All right, don't stop spitting in the face of the Lord, man. Love your woman as the weaker vessel. Honor your father and mother. Stop eating pork. Stop marrying outside your race. All right. Keep the law, statutes, and commandments. And with that, I'm Priest Nosa Y'all Sap Yala. I pass the class over to Priest and Osa Sha'al.
Clap it up for the class.